Hello and welcome to the ThreeWill podcast. This is your host, Danny Ryan. I'm here with Tommy Ryan. Tommy, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Danny. How about yourself?
Good. Doing just fine. So today we're going to continue on with talking about our culture and in particular our shared values. And we're on the second to the last value, which this one sounds a little weird, but our value is value.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and read what we have up on the website for this. And we have Caroline Sosabe up there, and this is the value itself. We strive to provide maximal value for our customers. That sounds wonderful. And then let me read the quote that we have with that. We think the greatest value we can bring to our clients is taking the time to truly understand their needs in order to be able to provide them with an outstanding solution on time and on budget. At ThreeWill, we will strive, to understand completely what the client needs before we ever strike the first line of code or make the first configuration change. It is not our job to write amazing code using all the latest technologies just because we can and think it will be a good value. It is our job to know what will bring the client value by working closely with them to gain a real understanding of the project requirements. Then, using our agile process, we can apply that knowledge to ensure the correct tools and technologies are employed in order to provide an outstanding solution that exceeds the client's expectations and brings them the greatest value. What do you think about that, Tom?
I think it can sound generic, but I think when you put skin on it, when you look at individuals at ThreeWill, the way they look at this, they look at, okay, what am I billing per hour, and did I actually do something that was, that valuable? I think we always have that tension of, am I, at the end of the day, providing more value than the check that's been signed to compensate us for the work that we get done for a customer. So that's I think a tension that's really real within our organization, and it's good to have that tension, and it makes you think about, let's make sure that we're methodical in the way we go about determining what gets done.
Yeah.
And the agile process helps with that, where we're not spending so much time talking about things that don't get done or don't have value. And if you look at the process of sales to delivery, we take down the user stories so we can understand at a high level, well, what do you want to accomplish? What are the individual features that make up the initiative that you want us to get involved with? And as a part of that, we feed back very quickly the level of effort. So you can look at an item on that backlog and say, wow, that's going to cost $5,000 or $10,000 to implement that one feature. Maybe it's not as valuable as I thought it was. And maybe I didn't realize the complexity of going down that path. And so we want to enable our customers to see that before they even spend, a penny in the process. And so that, I think, gives value to the customer very early before we even deliver any of our, product that we do in our projects.
Yeah, I think I really like what Bruce and the team does with breaking out estimates and understanding from the get-go, sort of like, he breaks them out into different groups and understanding how much am I going to be spending on maybe this feature set. And, early on, from a client standpoint, they're understanding sort of where am I spending my money, and they probably have the best sense of anyone as far as whether it's worth that, and understanding what their goals are, and will implementing this really help them meet those goals. And so, we don't want to see ourselves as a okay, let's just go tell ThreeWill what to do. It's more of a we're engaging with you to to talk through what are you trying to accomplish, and then sort of prioritizing what you're doing as well, because I think that's where the value comes into play. Is you're doing the things of the highest priority first, and how do you do that? And I can see with the delivery teams that they're able to do that and organize on a sprint by sprint basis, which is just wonderful to see.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we really think the process of Agile is a key component to the value proposition that we have to our customers, and it even comes without a project taking place. It can come through the ability to make a good decision on should I go after a certain project, and to quote fail early. We do fail early in the sales process where we provide a budget, and that budget is beyond what they can afford to go after an initiative. And it's much better to figure that out up front than to get halfway into it and realize, well, I'm not going to be able to get to the finish line. Now I've spent money, but I can't get to the finish line, so I don't have value. I have a deficit. I've spent money, I've spent time, and I have nothing to show for it. And we don't want to put our customers in that position, and that's tough, because we're in environments that we want to be a catalyst to move quickly, get engaged, start producing working software, and to keep that in balance with overall objectives of the organization, technology, standards, and at the end of the day, is this something that fits and works well within the organization? It's not always black and white, so we have to help kind of tease out the details with our customers so they can make the most informed decision along the way. And at the end of the day, we feel like an educated customer, where we're helping them in that process, is going to be the best customer to set us up to be successful.
I feel like a part of the reason why we ended up, focusing so much on, SharePoint as a framework, and just sort of, what we're taking into each of the different projects, is because of, wanting to provide value. And that is, we don't want to go around building these frameworks from the ground up and, having we'd rather come in with SharePoint into a project, because I think ultimately, if we're talking about value, so I could see some, clients sharing the same concept of value and saying, looking at our bill rates and saying, hey, I could get maybe 2 or 3 other folks at a lower rate that would equal your bill rate. So I would think that these other companies are a better value. But the way that I look at it is, our approach both with our process with Scrum, with being able to organize around what are we going after each sprint, and making sure we're spending the right time on the appropriate things, along with using SharePoint as sort of the framework where we're configuring first, coding second, but can build these high value solutions out of this, that we're able to have 1, 2, 3 person teams that, if you were building this from the ground up, would take a dozen folks to go do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think focusing in on a platform and being able to understand the nooks and crannies and the breadth and depth of that platform enables us to have a final complete solution that is going to get the customer further than taking a generic approach where you have to, in a sense, reinvent the wheel. And we prescribe to, if there's something out there that can get the job done and we can extend that and bring it to the finish line faster and kind of better quality, more capability, then we're all for that. We're not we don't think we need to start everything from scratch. And so we're always trying to find those opportunities where there is that fit, that we're not forcing a square into a round hole, but we see that, this is a round hole and this is going to be the fastest way to get you there, and let us show you what we've done with other customers and give you a vision of how you can get there and do things that maybe you really didn't realize you could do with the platform.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anything else to add for value?
I think it comes down to making good choices, and we've talked about this in a number of values in the brand promises. At the end of the day, to provide value, there has to be a good dialogue with the customer to understand what's important to them and continue to hone in on what is their situation, what's special about what they're trying to accomplish, and tune ourselves to that need and not try to force a customer down a path just because we think it's the right way. We really need to understand where our customer is coming from so we can tune to giving them the most value. So I want to always turn the art of software development into a science, but there are art aspects to what we do, which is the people interactions that we have to kind of tune in to what's important to the customer. And I think that's what makes us a very valuable organization to our customers today and tomorrow. It's because of us caring about understanding their need and inspecting and adapting to that need in the fastest way possible.
Nice socks, dude.
Thank you.
I don't think I've seen these yet.
Yeah. They're maybe. I
Maybe.
think we're getting to the bottom of all the socks that I have.
Somebody, if anyone would like to donate some socks to the Danny and Tommy Ryan Sock Fund.
Yeah. I don't know if I want used ones, but
Oh yeah, they have to be. Yeah, let's make sure they're new socks. Yes, we're looking for new socks to talk about. Well, thank you, Tommy, for taking the time to do
Sure,
this.
Danny.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. And have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye.
bye-bye.